Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 223 of Dissonant Waves. My name is Dominic. Ritz and Tricks are here.
Hello.
And
Hello.
before we begin, I feel the need to explain myself a little bit. This week, one of the things we cover is an EP called New Hope by the band Bro Spice, a band that was around when I was in high school. Bro Spice existed in the sort of wake of bands that popped up after the Wumbologists became a thing. And the Wumbologists, for me, was like ground zero of my interest in like garage and DIY. I had a friend in it. It was a whole thing. I started going to shows. It was a great time. And bands like Bro Spice, We Are the Waiting, and all that kind of cropped up around that time. And it was very important to me. I need to acknowledge that at the time, 2011, 2012, when this was all happening, I was not a fan of Bro Spice. They were like another band that was there that I was like, this is fine, whatever. And time has not been very kind to this EP. It is not very good. It's not good at all, actually. But
No.
I go into this knowing that I knew this existed in the form that it did in this one Reverb Nation website thing, and I've known about it for several years, and I've always considered bringing it on the show, and I was always hesitant to because it's like I kind of know what this is going to be. Now, the reason I did it now is because this really is about as close to ground zero as we're going to get. There is the one Wumbologists video I've shown you guys. That's all that exists anymore.
Okay.
And to my knowledge anyway. And, if we really want to trace back what was important to me, what was important to Grief Eater, what was important to our scene, that's it. Like, that one video, this Bro Spice EP, that is some of the earliest stuff that exists of that time. And I want to cover this as a way to document it and, cover that scene as a whole, because I'm like one of the few people that really gives a shit, and that was my life. That is what I grew up with, and that's why I want to do it. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I mean, Ethan Rader's in that band. Ethan Rader's in Grief Eater now. Ethan Rader has had a career. He's kind of like the unsung hero of all this, of evolving a lot. The vocalist, Shaky Jakey Croc, we went to high school, we went to middle school together, we run the wrestling team together. It's really weird to remember that he was the vocalist, at least for some of these songs. But yeah, this is not done in a way to embarrass them. And if they are embarrassed, I do apologize. Again, this is a way for me to reflect and get as close to talking about the thing that I actually really want to talk about most of all, which is the Wumbologists, but will likely never have the chance to do so unless, we find one of the band members and get to talk to them, but that seems very unlikely. So I know the Bro Spice EP is bad, and I'm sorry, but it is important to the context of everything that has brought me to the show.
Well, whilst we're here, I guess, how about we just say what we're covering today and then get onto Bro Spice, because I feel like this is one of those ones that we'll start off with, especially whilst we're here.
Yeah.
And also, just because we're not hanging on to it for the rest of the episode, rip the Band-Aid off.
My original plan was just to do the Starjets, God Bless the Starjets, and that also had a bunch of videos tack onto that because there was only the one album they put out, including their one or two singles as Tango Brigade. Tricks, you chose Juno Goes to the Big House by Sorry Mom and 17 Seconds by The Cure. And Ritz chose We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever's Just Dance 2017. The only podcast on the internet that is brave enough to cover Bro Spice, We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever, and The Cure all in the same episode.
Absolutely. Everyone else is cowards.
Alright, so Dominic, should we rip the Band-Aid off?
Let's do it. I knew this was not going to be great, and I really was not prepared for how bad it was.
So I feel like I will monologue a little bit here myself as well, and I want to also reiterate your point that I don't want to kind of mock anyone. Like, I feel like even if we kind of go back to the Cardinal Heart episode, which has definitely got some relation to that, maybe we're even probably a bit too harsh on that, just in the sense of defending you. Yeah, it's not us. We've definitely covered a lot of DIY.
Yeah.
And all that, and obviously that comes with a trade-off that the production is never going to be as good as the full-fledged industry professional band. Sometimes that's a good thing because too clean a production makes me yuck. But we consider everything, and I try to say it as probably as politely as I can. That unfortunately, this is one of the worst things we've ever covered on this podcast.
Yes.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Believe it or not.
I think 2 of these songs are among the worst we've ever done.
Yep.
The rest,
They're not.
Whatever.
They're not. I think my issue with Bro Spice is that this sounds like literally any high school EP.
Well, yeah, it's a high school EP.
Yeah, but there's nothing unique to it. But that being said, there's nothing uniquely bad about it. Like, I would rather listen to this EP than like DB King.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue though with the other songs on here, besides the obvious 2, they are songs that I reckon that would be fine if they were executed better, but it's the poor execution, which has come just judging it as a song, not trying to judge it as a high schoolers or anything like that, which has led any kind of, like, fish and chips, one that has a shouting out of fish and chips.
Yeah.
It could actually be a good song if it just felt like it had more effort put into it, but it screams high schooler in the wrong ways. Like, I'll compare it to... There's kind of a lot of comparisons I'm going to do to young kids in this EP, and that's not a good sounding sentence out of context or in context, but it's never going to be good anyway. I'll compare it to a band called Maple's Pet Dinosaur. They're like a Central Coast band full of like 14, 15-year-olds. I don't think I'm actually exaggerating with that number. That's actually got a signing. I think they might be Warner or something. Like it's a bigger label, despite being quite a young band.
I mean, Silverchair also had that.
Yeah, Silverchair did have that, but it's not the band that I'm going to compare it to. Just because,
Sure.
even though Silverchair would definitely, well, Maple's Pet Dinosaur is not bad. That's a thing as well. I'm not a big fan of them or anything like that. I personally think that their music is very high schooler as well, but it also makes a lot of sense that the whole topics and genre based is like the whole genre and the whole topics that they're going to is high. They're high schoolers.
Yeah.
Of course, they're kind of. I think the big song Lego on there, which is basically just about having a shit fight with someone in your grade. Yeah, that's their experience. I'm sure it makes sense on this and with the Bro Spice as well. They probably haven't had any issues at this point in their life. They're just thinking about fucking going to get food, and that's what they're writing about. And that's actually fine. I could we'll do the fucking comparison that I was gonna do, Dominic, with Chinese food.
Yeah.
With Alice and Gold, because that was the same fucking time. That was 2012.
Yeah, this was December 2012 as an EP release. I don't even know if Waves was part of the original EP. It doesn't fucking matter anymore, honestly, but it's there.
And that's a case of, like, it's, Chinese food got a lot of flack for being kind of considered like a racist song, and, Patrice Wilson probably kind of did put some good old stereotypes into it, but, like, it was a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck did we expect? What was a 14-year-old gonna write at that time? Were they gonna write all about Obama being a fucking war criminal? No, they probably didn't even fucking know.
No.
I mean, there is the line in Fish and Chips, Obama sees through your lies.
Yeah. I mean, Silverchair is a bit of a fucking outlier when you think about it, because they were somewhat writing politically. In their songs. Tomorrow is very much a song that's having a go at the upper class.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the main difference is not so much with Chinese food, but with a band like Maple's Pet Dinosaur, or I guess even with the Silverchair and something going with Tina, is that if it's all the high schooler part of it is excusable because the songs themselves sound tight.
Yeah.
This
And
does not
I-
sound tight.
That's just not on
No.
this. Not on this EP at all.
No.
Like it sounds like there are enough fuck ups and like mistakes. And I'm surprised that the session person that was in charge was like okay with it.
Can
Yeah,
I say probably my most controversial take about this album?
Sure.
yeah, go ahead.
I can't hate it.
I mean,
I can. I
Well,
don't want to hate the people. I can hate the EP.
Here, let me explain why I can't hate it. This
Okay.
is a perfect snapshot of the 2012 DIY music scene. As much as we would like to hate it, I've consumed a lot of content over the years of music recording, and this is just 2012 encapsulated. The guitar sound sounds like a Loud Six Spider, with the insane mode cranked to fucking as far as it'll go, the knob broken off. It sounds like shit. It in the best possible way. I can't hate it. This is just an important piece of history almost.
I've got to
terms of,
fully
like-
disagree with you, Tricks.
to me,
I don't
it is
think
an
this is
important
a
piece of
DIY
history. To me, it is
punk.
a replacement piece of history in a way.
In terms of does the full DIY scene, so if you go into the absolute barrels of everything in every single band that's starting out and is the first
let me
people doing it.
clarify. This sounds like a shitty DIY 2012 punk recording.
But
Yeah.
I've done a lot of investigation for, and I know it's a different country, but I've done a lot of investigation for the Scams directory and checking out bands, especially in the early tens period. Checking out all the old beat disc shows, which was truly DIY happening there. And no, I disagree. I don't think this is a perfect snapshot, especially not for me. Of even though this is not really an era I was a part of, I was in high school too in 2012. But
The thing is though that a lot of bands still sound like this in America, especially in like the metalcore scene.
I don't know if they sound like this.
Not
But-
exactly like this, but in terms of like how the guitar tone was recorded, it sounds very hack job in a way that I can't explain.
There's a certain cleanness to it that gives me, like, to me it sounds very Naperville. Fucking Naperville, Illinois. It sounds too clean, but it's still DIY. That bothers me.
And look, the main thing I think that really kind of, I'm pushing it probably onto one person here, and I absolutely apologize without knowing what they're like now or who they are as a person or anything like that. I'm sure they're a nice person. Maybe they look back on this and go, "Yeah, I agree." Maybe I'm about to upset them, but I have listened to so many styles of vocals over the past however long even of this podcast and that we've had some artists that I've seen described as by other people as can't sing, which I do believe that actually can. Some that have different styles, whether it be talking or more kind of screamy or shouty. Some that oversing. And I've also heard the word disinterested. And I don't think I've really ever, even kind of more slacker styles, really ever properly applied the word disinterested. But he genuinely doesn't sound like he's actually enjoying what he's making.
Which is interesting only because I have seen this band perform live. I remember the fucking Bulls on Parade cover. Like, I have a memory of it. And, like, for the time, that fucking went off because people were excited to have a song that they knew.
But it's, I mean, the
It was
two
like
worst
when I
ones
saw-
on here. You
Go
got Trick,
ahead, Ritz, and I'll go because it's related. It's like when I saw Petite League in my city, and a local band opened for them and played a cover twice.
I guess.
Still weird to me because they were trying to like make up time for Petite League being late.
I mean, if you have nothing else, I guess you could do a comedy set, but that might not go well.
Yeah.
So the two worst songs in here are Chinese Drive-Thru and the Bulls on Parade cover. That Bulls on Parade cover was rough. It really was, and that one was truly just because of the vocals. Like the rest of it was all kind of like I could excuse so much. Like I know this is rough and it's rough all around. And instrumentation is kind of harder to see if the person is actually interested. So I understand this is actually a bit of a case of we're kind of only calling out the person that we can see doing it, not actually everyone doing it. There is probably a good chance, and it happens with a lot of high school bands, that most of them were probably we're just kind of made a band, but we don't actually like this.
See,
this.
Go ahead.
You go.
What is interesting to me is I'm looking at the artist bio, right? It reads, in the beginning of the 11-12 school year, and Shaky and Ethan started talking about getting their old band Civic Insanity back together. After a couple weeks, the two decided it would be best to just start fresh. New band, new sound. They decided to pick up Kevin, which I believe is Kevin Drake, if I remember correctly, as the lead guitarist, and by early September, Bro Spice was formed. They quickly got a couple shows with some of the local bands, and they've been reviving the punk sound ever since. So there was a whole other band before this that I have no memory of.
That's okay. That's something else. I still don't know exactly how the full formation and everything. I'm probably not going to try and make any more comments on that because then I'm just assuming, and assuming makes an ass out of you and me, and specifically me. Yep. But I mean, yeah, I remember we would have covered the Denzel Curry cover of Balls of Parade when we did the Like a Version episode, and I mean, just how much night and day is it? Yeah, it's really hard to listen. Like I'm sure, yes, it's going off. Maybe there was a bit more energy when it goes played live and all that, but it's just, it was bad. The second I heard the come with it now, it sounds basically how I just said it. I paused. I stopped. I just like no.
Come with it now.
It is the.
It wasn't any fucking attempt.
Shockingly hard to do it in a way that is not energetic or like fun.
I now want to do like a slam poetry cover with like walking upright bass line of Bulls on Parade.
And that's again, we've covered a lot of slacker styles, which has vocals which intentionally sound a bit more disinterested, but you can tell genuinely go with the vibe. Like if you go like to a band like Cake was a good master of that. Here it's just it's rough vocals. It doesn't sound like there's any energy. The rest of the instrumentation doesn't back it up. It is. I'm basically just spending my time just basically trying to describe why this is one of the worst things we've listened to, and it sucks to do that to a DIY band. It really does, and we know what some of the members have gone on and done, and have done it better, and they're probably looking at this, and hopefully they just look back at this and laugh. It's a bit of a. I've heard so many times in my life when you go into some older stuff or go into some personal stuff, it's kind of like going into somebody's diary. Sometimes it's a diary that somebody has shared, like with Mount Erie, or sometimes it's something that people have forgotten and have left out on the table, and then they're like, "Oh shit, you found it," and everything like that. But nevertheless, we have still found this. We have still listened to this. We are still judging it. It is out there.
Yeah, it's
no one probably else will. It is actually kind of still interesting that you can find anything from that period of time, which I am assuming they did not really break out anywhere outside of your high school scene.
Oh God, no.
So for that shit,
go ahead, Ritz.
I was going to say, for that shit to kind of even still exist, like the amount of bands that would have formed in high school back in the day that didn't even get past like 2 gigs, and yet you found one that had an EP out. Which this is the kind of shit that you will find in an op shop because a CD was randomly made. Somebody sees it 10 years later and goes, I don't know what to do with this. Maybe someone will sell this at this op shop. The op shop doesn't fucking know what will sell or not, so they just take all CDs and hope for the best. And then eventually one random person takes a gamble on it 20 years down the line and then throws it out, which would be quite pretty frequent with these types of stuff. But it's cool that it still exists digitally somehow. Like that to me is just kind of like, well, this is kind of an era of I'll say MySpace basically got erased.
Yeah.
Yes.
During the Scrams directory stuff, holy shit, the amount of music that's just been erased. There were musicians in the scene who used to play with these bands who were bigger than this, that genuinely do not know where to find older versions of their contemporaries.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't even have the masters anymore. It's that kind of thing.
The burning of the Library of Alexandria for millennials.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, like, if we're being real, the only reason we're doing this is because I remember it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one else would be fucking doing this.
No, Domino, speaking of that, I think the next move on this journey is to see if the guy who does a podcast does call-in sections.
I'm not calling that guy. That seems like it's a financial podcast. That's weird.
I will do it.
Maybe I'll think about it, because I mean, I have found the Civic Insanity stuff. There's actually more. There are 3 songs, but they're like 33 minutes long collectively.
Wow. Okay.
Unnamed song alone is 25 minutes. I'm assuming that's like a full set. This is maybe if I feel, if there's a time when it makes sense to cover it, maybe we could do that. But like, I don't even fucking remember Civic Insanity. It's the year before it's like 2010 even. Jesus Christ.
2010. I was 11 years old and I had just signed up for Twitter.
Yeah, no, those are like talent show photos. This is like going to like Lorenzo early years. Like,
I think this is a step beyond throw television.
I mean, yes. Again, no one's gonna remember this. I will post the logo in the chat though for you both.
I got to show Charlie throw television. And Spark Alaska. He only knows about Petite League. This joint tastes like peanut butter.
There's your logo.
I'm done with talking about this. I think I've said.
Did you both listen to the Wumbologists song at least?
No.
That's unfortunate.
It was late. Unfortunately, I apologize.
I was spending time with Charlie. I didn't want to be like, hey, I have to listen to a shitty song for my dorky podcast.
I didn't listen to the Wumbologists. Maybe they were better. I'm going to assume they were better. I'm going to make Dominic feel better and say they were better.
I mean, it's like part of one song at one of the shows I was probably at. It's a ska song. There's a trumpet. It's better.
Okay, I'm already saying it's better because it's ska.
Yeah,
I can't hate ska.
And for what it is,
it feels like a hate crime.
I think that video, and it's like less than 2 minutes, like at least shows why we kind of gave a shit at all about it, because it was fun and interesting, and we knew these people, and so it made making a band and being interested in local live music seem tenable and cool and interesting.
I mean, let me also put this out there. I've got no favorites. Least favorite is the Bulls on Parade cover. I think is actually my least favorite from all of this, just because it was bad. But if we went for original songs, it's Chinese Drive-Thru. That one just
yeah.
I think both are among the worst things we've ever heard on this show.
Yes,
but also, it was never going to be anything other than my least favorite. I'm going to assume, like, I cannot, I cannot run away from that. That is what it is.
Yeah. But the important thing is, it's not the quality of music. It is, as you said, is about people giving a shit about the live scene and people just doing it regardless. And even if they're high schoolers, I've talked about the whole Campbelltown scene, where it's just basically Campbelltown High School has basically decided they're going to start a scram scene, and that's blended into the rest of the country. And it's cool, and people were giving a shit.
Yeah.
And some of those bands I've listened to, and I don't think they're that great, but they're still fucking doing it, and it's cool.
Yeah. I will say, Domino, your high school music scene was way more impressive than mine, because my high school music scene consisted of myself and another guy with my dead name.
I wasn't invited to any parties, so I don't actually know if we. I think I heard about, like, one of the English teachers' son or something was drumming in a band. He seemed like a massive wanker, that dude, so I don't really fucking care what happened with that one. And I think
I have
some
to
other
see
people
if
were like
I'm-
learning guitar, but they definitely haven't. I haven't seen them around in any fucking scenes since. So I'm going to assume that if my high school had a scene, it very thankfully didn't get past my high school.
If if teachers count, I might have to dig out some of my father's music.
I would love for you to do that.
Somebody
Genuinely.
that I
You would
used to
have
know.
we would have to like not talk about anything related to the band and just like track 1, track 2, and no mention of anything,
Well,
which would
that's
be a little difficult. But
there was somebody that I used to know, that was the joke I was making. That their teacher in high school was actually the singer from Dappled Cities, which was like a popular indie band in Australia, which is kind of fucking funny.
Mhm.
Sometimes teachers make the best music, and then sometimes other teachers are dicks. It's like no in between.
My father did an acoustic cover duo for a while, and one of their biggest hits locally was they would do an acoustic cover, two bearded big white guys doing WAP,
Huh.
Fuck
in
yeah.
like Simon and Garfunkel harmonies.
You say there's no music scene, but I think that sounds pretty interesting.
I'm talking
That's their own
specifically about
thing.
like my high school classes.
I know.
Yeah, alright, well, what are we gonna move on to
And
now?
I just want just to say the coolest thing is that this, in the end, like you can draw the line between this and Grief Eater, so that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
I mean,
is very interesting.
The fact that they've that even one of them has evolved to do what Grief Eater is doing is just like, yeah.
Incredible. The glow up is phenomenal.
And obviously, Warren is better as an album.
Yeah.
Anyway,
By a
Yes.
mile.
shall we continue the DIY train and talk about We Will Look Back at You?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So we will look back at you. For the first time in ages, I have not picked the final album this week. It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
We did the interview. They put out their new album, Just Dance 2017. It is definitely a bit of a, I guess, a continuation of what they've been doing over the past a bit with their mixtapes, and the last I mean, I guess the last actual album was 2023. The other one, the past two, was a covers album and a mixtape. So
Yeah,
it's been a drought, I guess. Yeah, we will look back on you and love you forever. Claustrophobia Pop is still alive.
I mean, Nosebleed
Yeah.
for me is now forever linked to that little intermission I made.
Yep.
I cried, I came, I cried again.
So I mean, big ups for that little stupid thing I put music to.
Yeah.
Was
Shout
that your
out to
video?
me
I
for
hope that was
making
your
it.
video.
That was my video. I made mac and cheese.
Great. I was partially worried that I was just taking some random video from online that you just posted in the chat.
No, I made broccoli mac for Charlie, and I wanted to get a video of me scooping from the center
Yeah.
because of your fucking casserole.
Well, I'm glad.
I still think about that goddamn casserole.
So let's just point out as well that this is one of the few times that we will cover an album where we are in the thank you notes.
Are we in the thank you notes?
Yeah, did you not read the fucking thank you notes?
No!
I did not. I listened to it on
It
YouTube
just-
Music.
It says additional thankings, Dissonant Waves crew. Fucking
Hell yeah.
thank fuck I noticed it. You two are fucking rude.
Sorry.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that.
now that
Yes.
we actually go on to the album, this I feel like I was expecting more than what we actually got. Maybe they've
bit.
just been so crazy for so long that I've kind of like gone to expect maybe too much. Like, I still like this album. They are getting tighter and tighter with their production.
Yes.
Every album,
yeah.
which is just incredible to see, especially just for how, I guess, shitposty their whole approach to making music is.
I think
Yes.
for me, I like it, but for me, I think the issue, kind of what you're saying, is that there's no gimmick or spice to it. There's no like new thing about it that's like oh, this one's the covers album. This one's where they go more trap, right? This specific one is kind of like a
I mean,
culmination
they
of
had
everything.
they had those elements of trap on self-titled,
Right.
and obviously the last album, Estrelita, was a kind of cloud rappy type of album as well, which I thought was, in my opinion, is still their best release. I really feel like what they were going for in that ended up really suiting their sound. But I'm so happy that they're sticking a bit more to their roots on this one. But for an album called Just Dance 2017, and they do quite a lot of pop interpolations and stuff like
Yes.
this as well. But I feel like I was just kind of, even if they were going when they were going for that, I was hoping for, I guess, more of it. I guess. I mean, I know we probably had a bit of some I guess questions about how would they be doing the Kanye interpolations, especially with the I guess the controversy with that and Drake. But some of those moments actually kind of end up standing out in a good way on this release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Folks album last week, some of those moments are interesting because of what the songs are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, this may have been an album that benefited from going more in that like overtly communist direction. Like, you're calling it Just Dance 2017. I feel like there could have been a little more push on like, no, there's a reason it's Just Dance 2017. We're talking about commercialism and consumerism. Like, it's there. There's a little bit of it there, but it's more in the background than I guess I was expecting.
Yeah, I feel like that's just been my one problem with this album is that the those kind of wilder or kind of like the moments that's made me kind of fall in love with this band, a lot more in the background, and it's still it's actually probably their most accessible release, I would actually say, even though it's still got some of those moments that will piss people off. Like I think it's in Holston Black Grape where it has the very, like, it's the loudest moment on the album, and it's just very harsh noise that comes into you, just for the, I guess, for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's the kind of thing that I do expect from this band.
Mm-hmm.
Just so at some point, just go like, fuck it, here's harsh noise. Why? Because they wanted it, and that's awesome.
Noise.
And you know what, Adnam does a really good feature on this as well.
Yeah.
I can see why they were excited to work with him. I actually found out in the I guess in the break or after we did the interview that Adnam's actually worked with my friend on his EP as well. So it's kind of a funny small world moment on that as well. So yeah, I do like moments from this. I feel like even the I Am Who I Am Simon moment, despite it basically being the third time doing it, it feels like there is still a reason for them to keep doing it. They found something that they love. They keep changing the song up, but yet it is feeling like different parts more than it is just like, oh, we're naming it for the sake of naming it.
I mean,
so it's cool going with those themes and everything like that. But when I've just kind of gone out of the album and finished it, I've just gone, well, there hasn't been all those like outside of those. There isn't just going to individual moment to individual moment to individual moment on here. It feels kind of underwhelming, which is upsetting.
Like, I think about the moments I love from, like, Estrelita, like telling you to crash your car. I still think about that a lot. Or the Penn Island stuff, using the Ocarina of Time samples to do something that I thought was really cool. And they still have the moody, guitars and production that I like, so that's not gone away at all. But
yeah, this is definitely not a throwing away their sound. They are still. Right. I mean, it is quite possible that I am just kind of like Stockholm syndromed into the sound where it's just not making me. I'm not finding it crazy anymore. That is probably actually incredibly possible because you might. I reckon there's going to be a bunch of people who haven't listened to We Will Look Back at You beforehand. This might be their first introduction to them, and they'll go to me and say like, "What the hell? What do you mean you're kind of underwhelmed with the craziness?" And I'll just go, "Well, it's because the prior history of this band."
I mean, I do think sometimes our reactions are just purely based on what's going on in our lives and what else is on the show this week.
That is true, and this is a more kind of packed week outside of this.
Not that other weeks have been packed that with, but
I mean, when we compared this to a more popular band last time, as it was Taylor Swift, and the first time we did it, and now we were and Petitely, and now we got The Cure as one of the other bands to compare it to. So I mean, they are a little kind of losing on that one. That's a little realistic.
No, but I mean, but that's the fun of it. Is like I like talking about all these bands as if they're bands. Like they all hold equal weight in our discussion.
I mean, well, they are. I mean, this is still it's still mostly Shelter and Jude. They are seeming to keep that kind of collaborative spirit going with them, which I love.
Also, what's Amy? I think the name is. Yeah, Amy.
Yeah, Amy is
the 2.5 member, I believe they referred.
Yeah. Features on a bunch of the tracks, or is helped with a bunch of the tracks. I don't think they're on every track, but I'm just reading the credits here. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I wish I had. I wish I just had more, because then there can just be even sending this album over to somebody and getting their first reactions. I can just think of all these other moments where I can go and be like, oh, what did they think of to that, or what did they think of to that?
Right.
Like, yeah, I mean, even with self-titled, it's kind of funny. Even just getting everybody's reaction to them just doing a cover of Adore.
Is the thing of this one being the entry point?
I feel, in a sense, I feel like if this is a case of you want to actually get people into this band, then yeah, this would be the practical way of doing it, because it is probably the easiest way to get into them. But also, the reason why I've gotten into their band is the pure chaos and the love that they have for creating chaos.
Yes. So,
and the reason that I'd want to get anybody into this band would be for that same love.
So can I ask you to do something? And this may sound very offensive, but I think to a normal person who might not get the chaos and get like what they're going for.
No, the non-offensive way of saying that is normie.
Why does this work for us and not Bro Spice?
Oh.
Honestly, I think that shouting just sounds more You know, I will go back onto it. Dominic, with Bro Spice, I said many times in that I did not think the singer was interested at all, and it's quite possible that the rest of the people playing instruments weren't as well. If you tell me that Shelter or Jude are not interested in what they're making, you're fucking lying. Because even in what I come away from this, there is still no doubt that they are having fun.
Yes, and that is what matters.
And from every We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever album, it is at least, because I feel like production-wise and everything-wise, or even just general, music is a way to portray emotion. And sometimes people forget that fun is an emotion. And with all this chaos, with all the craziness, with all the copyright and everything in there, you can genuinely tell that they're having fun. And when you have that, you have fun as well.
I think that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes back to, the passion over like form, or passion over, proper music theory debate. Passion wins every time.
Yeah.
Like, even if the instrumentation of the Bulls on Parade cover, if that was good, the singing would still tank it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here, like, everything is crafted and molded in a way that fits what they're doing. It's meant to be the way that it is.
And whilst I personally don't come out of the album too excited from it, they still have not lost that passion.
No.
I still will go, to bat for them, because I love what they do. I think they're fascinating.
We were
They're always
on this podcast.
Hey, you want to listen to something weird at work?
And we will always say yes. This is not the first time I've come out of a We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever not being too I guess, like, fuck yeah. But I can tell you, the last time I've done that has not happened. There will be another one.
I hope you two take this opportunity to see this as a personal challenge Ritz has issued against you to make the next We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever album as
No, Tricks.
hard
There was
to
only
listen to
one.
as possible.
there is only one challenge that I will ever give to We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever, and it's what they promised to do, and they haven't fucking done it. And it's I want them to do an album that's longer than one Wayne G. They said they were going to do it. They haven't fucking done it yet. That's what I want.
And I want them to play
Maybe
their
they
wedding.
can. Maybe they have a venue to record it at coming up soon.
Yeah, do the whole one Wayne G cover album live.
From my understanding, some or both of them are still in Mexico, so it's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
I think only one of them is, but yes.
But if I remember right, they were switching
At the
off
time of
some point.
recording.
Yeah.
They were in Mexico for drug-related crimes. I'm sorry. I hope the gang didn't get them. But I will accept the replacement part in We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever
God.
if indeed the gangs have got them.
What a... Now, see, now I want to see what you would do if you were to do something like this.
Probably fuck it up.
I don't know.
So shout out Sawhorse for putting out the CDs for this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, like, despite probably being the most I guess out there band, or like doesn't sound like anything else that's happening in the Scram scene has just basically said, nah, this is an emo band.
I love how much like draw they've gotten, how much like attention they've received for doing what they do.
It's a true. It's kind of wild to say, but they might actually have a favorite band, favorite band tag to them. Yeah, it's a bit of leeway on that, but
Sure.
it's not actually that out of the question, because, like, you know, when people in this scene talk about like the bands that they love in this scene, it's usually the stuff like My Cries or Fear of Horses or the Garage Sales and stuff like that, and all of them are in the know and platform We Will Look Back at You. So is that not favorite band's favorite band?
It very much is.
Yeah.
I just so want at least one of these CDs to have a bootleg Wii cover.
Yeah. You want them to have the bootleg Wii cover?
Yeah.
Have you not fucking seen the Sawhorse one?
I might have. Maybe I'm forgetting.
I'm gonna get it up for you. Just to make you happy.
This might be that thing where it's like maybe I saw it in my head, or I thought it was in my head, but I actually just saw it like when I woke up.
I think you saw it when you woke up. Where is it? Yep, here it is. It is the bootleg Wii cover on the disc.
Okay. I see. Yes. So the disc is the Wii thing. I meant give me a DVD case.
Ah, okay.
Yes, the disc, perfect. That I fucking love. Absolutely perfect.
Yes.
But put that cover art on a fucking Wii format. I would be so there. Also.
Domino just loves the Wii.
Look, I will go out and get Just Dance 2020 on the Wii and put this next to it and make people think I bought 2 copies of Just Dance.
I thought you already owned Just Dance 2020.
I had to sell it at some point for money. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Has anyone got anything else to say about Just Dance 2017? Other than can somebody still like mod Just Dance to do a custom for one of these songs? Probably for Nosebleed.
I'm googling this right now.
Let's put Nosebleed in Clone Hero.
Hell yeah.
Custom Just Dance
2017.
So we should
anyway,
what are the dance moves gonna be?
just crying on the floor.
You can mod Just Dance.
Oh shit.
Now, also please, if you could all put the lyrics onto the Bandcamp so I can figure out what the fuck you're saying. That would
be
also
great
help.
too.
That would be because I'd like to comment on some of that, but we really only got the Nosebleed lyrics, which that kind of fits the vibe of the dance moves to that song, just kind of being crying in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel especially wonderful that they mentioned us at all in the Bandcamp page. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
We have them, and we have Dan Macy on our team.
Yes. Damn.
I'm assembling a team. It is 2 people.
extremely online.
We just got to
favorites
collect
from-
all the references. We'll have our Avengers.
Favorites for me, Nosebleed, Holston Black Grape, and Sobered. If I've got to give a least favorite, maybe it would go to something like I think it would be Insulidian. I don't know how to.
I think it's Insilidian.
Yeah.
Insulidian, yeah.
Or it could be Insulindian.
Insulindian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Insulindian. Yeah, that would be it. Yep.
Because insulin Indian. Insulin.
Yeah.
Insulindian, yes.
Yeah.
I like Nosebleed and Holstein Black Grape. I think my least favorite is probably It's Amazing, or I Tell Her Only Partly. Probably It's Amazing.
Favorites for me, will go Nosebleed, and I liked Sober.
Yeah, Sober. Yeah.
Feature.
Yeah, with the feature. Again,
yes.
shout out Adam.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to add an addendum to, because in the interview for We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever, I made a bootleg T-shirt.
Yep.
And I would like to add an addendum to it that I noticed when I was folding it, like a month or so ago.
Uh-huh.
And we went in right before close, so they were like, I don't know if we can do it, and then they just kind of did it. So the logo on it is printed off center and at an angle,
Excellent.
which makes it look even more bootleg, and so I'm going to cherish it forever.
I reckon you should send a full merch design over to them and get them to make it their merch.
Yes.
They had access to the file. I posted it in the Discord.
Yeah.
I might have saved it.
Because it would be funny if the bootleg is the original.
Yeah, hit me up, Jude and Sholto. I'm nowhere, so hit up Domino.
Trix does merch design. Graphic design is her passion.
Or as I called them, Jude or Shoot and Jolto.
Shoot and Jolto.
For the record, in case you two did not know that, I did not realize I had done that until I listened back to it.
And the funny thing is that I noticed it, and one of them noticed it, and we just decided, it'll be fine. I think one of them didn't notice, and the other one was like, "Oh, I noticed, but I thought it was a joke."
Well, it played perfectly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we've covered this. I as I must always say, I apologize for not considering this to be the best We Will Look Back at You album, despite it being said so in the Bandcamp. I apologize. That's on me. 100% on me. If you don't like music, it's only on you. It's only on me. It's just how it works. I am wrong.
I will also forever give this band credit for getting on and off the AI train at the right time.
Yes. Absolutely.
So if you want investment advice,
just talk to AI Peter Griffin.
Yes.
Even Emo Core Peter's like not using that anymore.
All right.
It's thrown out.
Wild.
Shout out Emo Core Peter. He's a very nice guy. Met him. Actually got to meet him IRL the other day.
Oh, that's cool.
Lovely. Yeah.
Starjets.
Starjets.
Since
School days.
Since you weren't listening, Ritz, my intro for this was that Billy Joe Armstrong covered War Stories on his covers album. When we listened to it was one of our, or at least one of my favorite songs on the album. So that led me down the rabbit hole to this. They had the one album, then a handful of singles, and they broke up, and then recently, in the last few years, they got back together. And they put out some new songs, which I did not bother to cover right now.
Fair enough.
Sick.
This is one of those cool little like indie rock albums from back in the day that randomly got discovered and blew up. And that's about the best summary I could do of it. Like I could think it's probably kind of just thinking what's it kind of comparable to? Could we compare it like to the Cars? I guess I mean the old kind of rock albums from back in there.
It's the year after 1979.
So yeah, I guess kind of.
Yeah. I have a strange way of describing. I've been describing this album to myself, and that is, this is the CD that your dad has, or the cassette tape, let's say, that your dad keeps in his car because he bought a car in 1994 that had this in the center console, and he just figured he'd hang on to it.
That's fair. Yeah, it's definitely one of those. Probably for a long time, if you knew about it, you knew about it. I mean, they're from Ireland, so I'm curious how Billy Joe got onto it.
Yes.
Because it seems like War Stories was the only song that was a hit, so maybe he heard it that way. But listening to it, I was very intrigued because there's a lot of, obviously, Beach Boys kind of inspiration going on. But they also do enough that it's easy to be like, oh, this is kind of like 80s inspired in a way, too. Even though it predates that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, they also get really cheesy and really stupid in a really fun way. Fucking Smart Boys. Their lyrics are just like, we're the best. The Starjets are really cool. We go to school. Starjets are awesome. And it's the most fucking 80s fucking theme song before the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one has
I
anything
can't
to
argue
say?
that. I feel like this is just one of those albums where it's kind of like, yeah, I liked it. It's kind of cool that like it was discovered, but I don't know. It's not one of those like, holy shit, it gets discovered and changes the whole way that that music is seen. It's just here's a really kind of cool little rock album from that year, from 1980 or whatever, 1979 or 1965. I don't know.
1979.
This is grocery store music for sure.
It's grocery store music, but it's the type of music that if it's playing in the grocery store would probably actually have a proper effect on me.
Yeah,
Fair.
it might be fun to listen to in the grocery store. It might, make you
Simi,
excited to shop.
Simi as the yeah, Simi as the whole point of grocery store music is to try and kind of slow you down or speed you up when need be.
I need to kind of specify here because when I say grocery store music, I worked at a local grocery store, and their radio was like XM satellite, just like 80s.
Yeah, so you're
So
gonna have
like
like some
you,
Paula Abdul and I don't know, some like other pop songs of that era.
Well,
yeah,
keep
it
in
was
mind.
it was mostly stuff like Pink Floyd, and like I would hear like Great Gig in the Sky go into this weird version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World that had these weird ass MIDI horns in them. Which, excuse me.
Well, keep in mind as well is that like grocery store radio stations, if they exist, actually sometimes end up being some of the more successful radio stations. Usually because one, they just have a playlist that's playing and no real cost involved. But it also gets a large kind of market share in that case because yeah, you get a lot of grocery stores that are playing it.
They're doing a little
So it's
more.
kind of like if you are grocery store music, it's like, well, you made it big.
Yeah, and I mean, different places have different versions of it. Like when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, they had a fake radio station where they just play the same set of songs over and over. So I mean, there's some of
Fucking
that.
Christmas CD Dollar General had that made me want to kill myself.
It's fair. I mean, laugh at that, but that's fair.
No, it was a country covers of Christmas songs. And I don't even know the singer, but there's this cover of I'll Be Home for Christmas that, oh my god, I just wanted to take the box cutter to my wrists every time I heard it.
So doing a little more digging. Seems Terry Sharp, the singer, wrote some of the tracks for Bananarama. And then was in The Adventures. And The Adventures is interesting because they were managed by Simon Fuller, who went on to make American Idol.
Huh.
So, when you think of American Idol, bands like The Adventures, which came from the Starjets, were the reasons that it was able to be a thing.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about the Starjets.
No.
Fun little detour.
Fun little detour indeed.
Do you like it more or less than the Cars?
Less. Yeah, I'd say less.
I can see I'll say this. I'll come back to just what I needed, but I don't really ever see myself coming back to this.
Fair.
Mostly because it's a YouTube video and I'd want it on a playlist.
That's very fair. Yeah, in a way, it's surprising that this is not streaming, at least in this country.
Yes.
Now streaming here. Not just your country.
That's fair. Sometimes you never know.
Yes.
All right. So now we have tricks left.
I mean, I guess we'll
Yes.
start off with Sorry Mom.
Yeah, I picked both my picks were because Domino is having a bad week, and I wanted to give him something kind of fun and some stuff I knew he'd probably like. So this band also has a Petite League connection. They featured on Patience off of Thrill Seekers.
Yep. This is fun.
Yeah.
You know, I am a proudly bisexual man, but yet nothing makes me feel more straight than when I don't like things like this.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I maybe I'll just vote conservative when I find songs like "I Fucked Your Mum" to just kind of be like, I feel like, yeah, I get it. The whole kind of like, hey, the joke is, I fucked your mum. It's lesbian sex. It's cool. That's a great one. But I don't know. Just
That's my favorite song on the whole thing.
maybe I've heard the joke just one too many times. Maybe I'm just an unfun dude. I'm willing to take the L on this completely. That I just didn't really enjoy this. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood set. I don't know.
You just weren't having a bad
definitely
week.
was. Nah, maybe I needed to have a worse time than I was to enjoy this, and that's fine. If I was too happy for this, that's probably good on my part.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, I don't know, just
Bit too woke for Ritz.
yeah, and woke, and sorry, mum. Nah, it's just I don't think this one was for me. That's just really all I could properly say. It's like it's one of those, like, I could understand why people like this type of thing and why people would gravitate to it, and I don't think they're wrong for that opinion. You know, there were definitely going to be there'll be lesbians who would go to songs like "I Fucked Your Mum," which is, you know, you have a go at a dude and say "I fucked your mum." It's like, yeah, they'd probably really champion that, and fucking fair enough. So,
I just like the
it's
surfiness
not
of
me.
it.
Okay, sure. I'm not going to die on any hill of hating this, because I didn't hate this. Just I didn't like it. I just didn't.
Sure.
I didn't like is a harsher way of saying it, but it's just kind of like it was there for me.
It's
That's how I feel.
You know, it's like sometimes.
Here's the real question, Ritz. Would you prefer the song if it were sung by a man?
Probably not.
Fair enough.
I think it would probably actually be worse if it was sung by a man, to be honest. So I'll take my wokeness card back, please.
Yeah, I will give you your wokeness card back.
Thank you.
I think it's interesting, you know, because this kind of fits in some of the other bands like Sandy Dish, though it's not quite like that. You know, some of the other bands like that we've done, this is a little more bouty.
You know, chicks, I got to take my wokeness card back to the shop, because I do like the Butterfingers song "Your Mama." I mean, I don't like it as much as I used to as a younger person, but it was, I guess maybe it was a product at the time of that one. But that is basically just a song about "I fucked your mum." So I'll hand you the wokeness card back. I think I am the person. I think I am the person.
On it, like, beyond the first song, like, Awesome Party Dude is fine. Honestly, That's Not Mine has some really, I think that's the one that has like a little more intense vocals. That was kind of cool. I'm not gonna say this is like an amazing EP.
No,
but it's interesting that, you know, they are one of the few bands that have been able to feature on a Petite League record.
Yes, very much so. I wonder how that worked.
I'm very curious. Like, does this mean that Lorenzo really likes this EP?
Well, I know he likes Mannequin Pussy.
He likes Mannequin Pussy? I guess that makes sense. Mannequin Pussy is pretty popular.
Yeah, I could see him like in I don't know.
There's a certain
good questions all around.
There's a certain braggadociousness that I find refreshing, like the Bandcamp page says they have shared the the likes of AJJ and two members of the Front Bottoms talking about the basketball court. And I just hope that's true.
Same.
Like, I just hope that is, like, just straight up what happened, and it just sounds like someone fucking lying.
It's like I have my fucking bowling coach would talk about how she knocked the former governor on his ass at basketball.
Wow. Also released on 420. Gotta note that.
And also 426.9 on the jail placard.
Oh yeah, totally. I got this is something I've always wondered. Like, if you got a project you're doing like this, you kind of just finish it, and you're like, well, I should probably release it on 420, but it's like July. What are you doing? You're just cool with leaving that to just wait until the day? Isn't some part of you that's
Yeah,
like,
and then you can if you continue working on your current music and you release it sooner after the first EP, so people are like, wow, they did a lot of music in 3 months or whatever.
that's fair.
Hello, Monty. You gonna say anything? Or are you just gonna climb around?
I expect my cat to bother me soon because I gotta go feed her after this podcast.
Monty is fairly quiet.
Manny was here for a while, but then went away.
Get away from my energy drink.
Well, favorites. If we're not gonna talk anything else, I mean, I fucked your mom.
This is neat.
I did like Awesome Party Dude. My least favorite's probably 2006 or Like a Body.
Favorites for me, I fucked your mom. And 2006. No real least favorites.
I'm just gonna use the blender term because I don't really have a least favorite. Like, I know I kind of talked about I fucked your mom, but that was really just the opener. It all basically felt the same for me.
All right. That leaves us with The Cure. 17 seconds. Jix, please introduce The Cure.
We've covered The Cure before with pornography. Dominic, I know you were disappointed we didn't cover The Cure when I said goth. So I shot my father a text saying, hey, I want to cover another Cure album on the podcast. We've already done pornography. What would you recommend? And he recommended 17 Seconds. I think this might be his favorite album, too, by The Cure. But worth noting, my father is a fairly big Cure fan.
Interesting.
Extra bullet point in the fact that I think he's a repressed bisexual.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah,
I like this more than pornography. I'll tell you that.
Well, let me tell you that I like it more than pornography.
So, fun fact: in the Hottest 100 of 1991, which was an all-time countdown, The Cure has had the most amount of songs ever in all-time countdown or an annual countdown. By a single artist, this is still the record. They had 9 songs.
Wow.
A Forest was the highest charting of all of them.
Interesting.
Yes. I feel like this is probably the first time I've actually heard A Forest. I am a bit of a poser when it comes to The Cure, and I tell you
I feel like it's one of their more popular tracks.
I have not heard The Forest before. Or Forest before.
I haven't. I didn't really look at the tracks when I was listening to this, so I can't even really remember which one was The Forest. But this is still my album of the week.
Yeah.
Fair.
I just enjoyed this the whole way through. I was not looking to stop or figure out what songs were. I was just looking to vibe with it. Was it going to be a hard one to beat this week? Yeah, it was.
I also really liked At Night. There's something nice about that kind of synthy bass line that was just soothing, but also dark and mysterious.
Yeah.
It's the thing though of like, I think I like poppy Cure the most. So like stuff like Just Like Heaven is like, I think my like most preferred Cure. But this is fine. This did not bug me in the way that Bloody Kisses did. It was still very goth and very like, all right, this is fine. But even then, Pornography has The Hanging Garden, which is a fun song.
Yeah.
But I still also kind of think like, all this sometimes feels like a put upon act in a way. It doesn't always feel super genuine. Like they're really trying to go for something.
Welcome to most theater kids. I mean,
Yeah.
the Cure is just goth theater kids.
Yeah.
It basically
very
always
much
has
is.
been. Is
Yeah.
Robert Smith probably a bit of a pretentious man? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't care. This is
Me
great
neither.
vibe to listen to the whole way through, and sometimes that's all I fucking want out of my music.
That's very
Is
fair.
just, was I enjoying listening to it the whole way? And yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Consistently from start to finish, I enjoyed this album. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Does that make it the number one for this week, kind of by default? Yeah, it does. I don't care. I'm gonna call it a blender, and it's still gonna be my favorite one, just because I didn't actually look at the track titles as I was listening.
I think what we're discovering is that we just all collectively need to listen to more Cure.
Yeah, probably.
Sometimes.
Anyways, next week.
I mean, hey, you can pick Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. I would not object.
Nah, I don't know what I'm picking this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, I had to really think about what I have to rank this week because it's a weird week. I feel like more than anything else. It's an interesting week to talk about, but I would not say. Like, I still think Ritz. I think your streak is unmatched in a way that you're on right now.
But yeah, even with my weakest pick in weeks, it's still a good pick.
It still feels appropriate and correct.
Yeah, damn straight. It's time to go for a terrible pick next week.
Hell yeah!
I'll do my best to tee you up for something.
Yeah, I don't know what can be said about the Cure that hasn't really ever been said. We're probably gonna just like everyone's like, oh, they're gonna be talking about in depth about the Cure, and no, I'm not that good. I just like this album. That's all you're gonna get from me.
You should just we just listen to the Cure. Just light up a clove cigarette like it's a stick of incense, and put on a Cure record and just stare at razor blades.
Go outside also, and in the dark.
Yes, fire escape if you have it.
Forest near your house if you're in the suburbs.
I will stare at the apartment building being constructed in my backyard.
I don't know. It's weird. I like this. I think this is better than Pornography, but I'm not in love with it.
I feel the same way.
Hello, Manny.
Hi, Manny.
It's good. I think A Forest and a Night are really interesting. In Your House is kind of interesting too. But I don't know. I feel like there's still better Cure albums out there.
I call this a cheese sandwich. That's my favorite least favorites.
No least favorites for me.
Favorites for me, I'll go In Your House, A Forest. I quite liked M. No least favorites.
All right, time for ranking, I guess.
Yeah, what a weird week.
Yeah, I'll just start off with the ranking. Least favorite is Bro Spice, then it's gonna be Sorry Mum, then it's going to be Starjets, then it's gonna be We Will Look Back at You, then it's gonna be The Cure.
Ritz, you are exactly my ranking too.
Let me think about this. All right. Bro Spice, bottom. Starjets. Is the goodness of I Fucked Your Mom booing an EP that doesn't deliver as much better than the Starjets that is all right throughout but not amazing? Oh shit. No, I'll stick with it. Bro Spice, Starjets, Sorry Mom, We Will Look Back at You, Cure.
I got a universal number 2. Chicks, you got the universal number 1.
Yes, I did. I whenever I seem to pick an album that released before 1980, it's either 90% a number 1 or 10% a number 3.
And I get universal number last. How could anyone have predicted that?
That's why we love you, Dominic.
Yes.
I can go first for picks.
Yeah, I'm still picking.
This is another week of me picking something that has been on my docket for a very long time. And I'm going to pair it with something else, because why not? The main album is from Quincy Jones. It is called Back on the Block. And if you don't know what this is Quincy Jones getting together a bunch of musicians from as many generations of musicians as he could find. So, like, Big Daddy Kane is here, Sarah Vaughan is here, Ella Fitzgerald is here. There's like some groups, like there was like a 13-year-old, I want to say, that was like supposed to represent like the new generation. There's a ton of shit going on here. Tevin Campbell was the kid. So there's Barry White, Ice-T, Dizzy Gillespie, Shaka Khan, Al Jarreau, Ray Charles. It's definitely a mix of stuff. And to keep the Chicago streak going, I'm gonna pair it with the first EP from Charlie Johnston, Wolves Abound.
Okay. Dominic, I picked for you last week. This week I'm picking for me. I want to listen to Steely Dan. We're covering Gaucho. Gocho? Something like that.
We listened to that.
Did we? Or did we listen? Which one did we listen to? Or did we listen to Asia?
No, we listened to Gaucho.
We're listening to Asia then. This is my favorite of the two. So we're listening to Asia.
I've got one pick. I'm looking for something to pair it with since it's kind of a shorter one. So you know what? Just if either of you could just kind of give me a bit of a vibe, and I'll kind of work on that from that.
Confused.
DIY.
Confused vibe.
DIY.
You want DIY, and you want confused tricks, or do you want an actual vibe?
Let's stay confused.
Stay confused. Okay, so something that's kind of DIY, something that's a bit, I guess, confused. That's a bit of a hard vibe to go for. But you know what? It's I don't think it's truly either of them, but I reckon this kind of goes in both directions. Seeming as it's kind of like a compilation of stuff, but it's kind of like been re-recorded for it. And like all the older stuff, I think was a lot more DIY, but like you've now kind of gone and just, I guess, try to pick the best of your discography and then re-record that. I reckon that gets into a bit of a confusing vibe, wouldn't you say, Trix?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing the still full from lunch EP, Hills Hoist, and I'm doing Hollow Boy by This Is Lorelei.
Okay.
Okay.
So that brings us to...
I've listened to one of these.
and it's the Hollow Boy one. No.
It's Hills Hoist. I've listened to the Still Full from Lunch. Yes. I haven't listened. This Is Lorelei is one part of Water from Your Eyes.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of that when I was hearing the name.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to Quincy Jones, Back on the Block, Charlie Johnston, Wolves Abound EP, Steely Dan, Asia, Hills Hoist from Still Full from Lunch, and Hollow Boy from This Is Lorelei. This has been Dissonant Waves this week. My name is Dominic. You can catch me on Blue Sky at dacichocky.bsky.social. I am also editing this podcast, so look out for that in the editing suite that you can't see.
I have been riddling. You can catch me ordering Chinese drive-thru right now.
Don't get stuck.
I have been Tricks. You can catch me chugging NyQuil.
I still can't believe you fucking picked Gaucho. Holy shit.
I'm sorry. I am delirious and tired.
I fully expected you to be like, yes, you heard me right. We're doing Gaucho again. And we're like, oh shit, okay.
Well, fuck it. We'll cover Gaucho again too.
No, you've already made your pick.
Fuck off.
You said Asia. I'm gonna stick to Asia.
Well, have we ended the podcast yet?
Yeah, basically, fuck off. Yeah, we ain't doing the album again. We're doing Asia.
Gaucho again.
No, we're not doing. We're not doing two.
Gaucho again.
We're not
you
doing
your
two.
Chance.
Missed your chance. We have already got a stacked enough week next week, Tricks. All right, I'm not putting up with your bullshit.
I know what my pick for next week is.
For the week after that, now you'll forget it.
So
it's done. It's gone.
So
you'll never be able to do Steely Dan again.
So after next week,
This
I'll
is
be
the
gone
last-
for a week. So
Rich.
you,
After next week,
As
hold on, Tricks. After next week, no one will be allowed to talk about Steely Dan again. It will be a law.
after next week, I'll be gone for a week. So you can do whatever you want in the week I'm gone.
Ah, fuck.
We're gonna listen to Steely Dan.
But I do have a. I do know what I'm picking for my 2-week break. Get excited. Anyway, that's the end of our show. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.